Welcome student to my channel Educare Maths and Science. Today also the continuation of the basic algebra. Previous video I discussed the basic algebra. Now also this is the two or three more things about the basic algebra. So one is very important thing is the factor. What do you mean by the factor? Factor means each of the quantity constant or literal multiplied together to form a product is called the factor. Suppose here each of the quantity constant, suppose this is a constant or literal, okay, each of the quantity constant or literal multiplied together to form a product. So these actually form a product, okay, product to multiply to together to form a product is called a factor of the product. Each that means 7 separately is a factor of 7x. 7 is a factor of 7x. That is very important. The concept must be clear. What do you mean by the product? Each of the quantity, each 7 is a separately or x is a separately. Suppose these two multiplied to form a product 7x. Now separately 7, 1 is the quantity, x is also one quantity. Now 7 is separately is a factor of 7x or x is also a factor of 7x. That is the very important thing. So what you mean by the factor is a very important thing. Factor means each of the quantity, each means 7. Suppose here minus 7y. So separately minus 7 is a quantity, y also a quantity, and both are multiplied to form minus 7y. So separately minus 7 is a factor of minus 7y. And y separately is a factor of minus 7y. That is the very important thing. Okay. So this called the factors. So constant factor, suppose 7. 7 is a constant factor, is called the actually numerical factor. 7 here is, suppose you just rub it. Suppose 10z. So 10 is actually the constant part. Constant factor is called the numerical. So what is the numerical factor here is 10 is the numerical factor. And literal part, which one is called literal? So z is actually literal factor. Clear? 10z is the product, is the multiply of two each number. So 10, 1 is the number, z also a number. You just multiply 10 into z. The product is coming, the multiplication. Now, so 10 is the numerical part. So this numerical part is called the numerical factor. Z is the literal part, is called the literal factors. Okay, understand? Now, here is an example greater minus 7xy square. This is algebraic expression and multiplied to reach. So minus 7 actually minus 7 into x into y square. So minus 7 is actually called the numerical factor, and separately x or separately y. Actually y square means actually y into y. So y separately y square or separately xy square, all are the literal factor. This is a very important thing. Which one is the factor, which one is the non-factor, or which one is the literal factor, which one is the constant factor. Clear? So this actually, that means very clearly you understand this. This is a very important thing. Suppose this actually clear to you. Minus 7xy square. So minus 7, this okay. This is a constant, so numerical factor. So separately xy square is the literal factor separately. Or actually x separately is the literal factor. Y square also separately a literal factor. Here is xy square, you write xy square this in this way, xy into 1. So separately this xy, this also separately a literal factor. Clear? or separately y is a literal factor. So this is the very important thing. Clear? So this is literal factor or the constant factor. Okay. Now we go to the coefficient. What do you mean by the coefficient? Okay. Any factor, just I rub it. You know the factor, you know the literal factor, you know the constant factor. Now, very clearly understand, any factor of a non-constant, suppose non-constant term 7x square y is a non-constant term. This whole term is a non-constant term of an algebraic expression. This also an algebraic expression. This suppose 5x minus 2. So actually this is the constant term. Non-constant term is this combination of literal and constant, or this xy plus 5. These actually called the constant term, and these are called actually the literal or constant. Constant and numerical both are the non-constant term. The very important thing is this, which one is the non-constant? Here is very important. Non-constant term of an algebraic expression is called the coefficient of the literal part. That is very important. Now, very clearly you understand. This is the non-constant term. Clear? Any factor, here is a factor. 7 is the factor, x square y is the factor, y is a factor, x square is a factor, all these elements. Any factor of a non-constant term of an algebraic expression is called the coefficient of the remaining. Suppose here is y. Y is the coefficient of the remaining. What is remaining? 7x square is the remaining. So y is the coefficient of this. This is actually the meaning. Clear? Y is the, what is the remaining? 7x square is the remaining. 7x square is the remaining. So y is the coefficient of the remaining part of the algebraic expression. Remaining part is 7x square. Suppose x square. So x square, coefficient of what is the remaining? 7y. Clear? So this is a very important thing. Okay? Here I write down clearly. Suppose here 7pq q square minus 5p square q minus 3p plus 2. So what is the non-constant term is this? This is the constant term. Now this is the non-constant term, this is the non-constant term, this is the non-constant term. Okay? And this is a constant term. Here is indicate non-constant term. Non-constant term means there is a literal part also or combination of the numerical and literal part also. Suppose you take this is the term. Numerical constant key minus 5. Literal constant p square q. Clear? Numerical constant minus 5. Literal is p square q. Clear? The coefficient of p square. Coefficient of p square means this part. Suppose this part. Coefficient of p square. You round up this p square. So what is the remaining? Minus 5q. Coefficient of the remaining factor. So coefficient of p square is this. For that reason, coefficient of p square, this is the p square. So what is the remaining? Minus pq. Clear? What is the coefficient of q? What is the remaining? Minus 5p square. What is the coefficient of k? এই কিউটাকে বাদ দিয়ে বাকি যেগুলো, what is the remaining? Minus 5q square. So coefficient of q is minus 5p square. Coefficient of p square is minus 5p. So what is the coefficient of p? What is the coefficient of p? Actually minus 5pq, because there is p square, one p is out Actually, this is minus 5p square means p into p into q. So what is the coefficient of p? So what is the remaining? Minus 5pq. Minus 5pq. Clear? So that is the very important thing of the coefficient. What is coefficient? Which one you take? What is the remaining part? That is the coefficient. That is the coefficient. Clear? Here I discuss other. Suppose minus 10 a square CB. So what is the coefficient of B? The left part. That means minus 10 a square C. What is the coefficient of a square? Minus 10 CB. What is the coefficient of C? Minus 10 a square B. This is very important. This is the literal. What is the coefficient of 10? That is minus a square CB. What is the coefficient of minus 10? So that is only a square CB. Clear? So now one example also. Very important, that is not to be confused. What is the coefficient of minus c square? Minus c. Minus c. When you take minus, so 10 a square 10 a square b. What is the coefficient of minus b? That is my b and minus. So 10 a square c. Left part, only the left part. B you take minus, you see. So coefficient of this 10 a square c. Clear? So this is the very important thing. Now the last thing for today is the like term or the unlike term. Like term means the same thing. Like term or unlike term. Same literal coefficient is called the like term. Same literal. Suppose 10 AB, 20 AB. Okay. Or 15 AB. Same literal coefficient is called the like term. Numerical value is different. Here is 10, here is 20, here is 15. But the main thing is this AB, AB, AB. This called the like term. Same thing. Suppose 5x square y. What is the like term? Suppose minus 6x square y. These the literal part are same. These called the like term. This is the concept must be clear. This is very important information. In case of the addition, in case of the subtraction, this is very important. Like term or like term. Okay. So if this is like term, 5xy and this is minus 5x square y. No, because the literal part, all are same. But this is the x square y, this is xy. Is not the same. Maybe this is the numerical part, minus 5 are same. Minus 5 are same. But the literal part here is xy, here is x square y. So in case of the like term, unlike term, you just choose which one is the literal part, same or not. Numerical part is maybe that's not separate. Suppose this is 7xy. Here is 15xy. These are the like term because you just choose the literal part xy. It may be different. It may be minus 7. This is 15, this is minus 7. No problem at all. But the literal part, this is xy, this is xy. So this called the like term. If you write minus 7xy, this is minus 7. All are same, but x. There is not y. So this the literal part is xy, this is x. All are same. So this actually not the like term. This actually called the unlike term. Unlike term. Okay. This is very important. Here, this is the two unlike term. 7ab, 2 by 3, 7ab square, 3a square b. This is ab, this is ab, this is ab square, this is a square b. All are the different literal part. So these are all the unlike term. Okay, this is the concept, very important in case of the addition. When you just do the addition and subtraction, this is the like term, unlike term is very important. In case of the like term, addition and subtraction, unlike term cannot be you add or subtract. Suppose this is a very important thing. This is not addition. One introduction is here. Suppose here is 7a, 5a. You add it because the like term. You first choose the like term. This is the like term. So 7, 5, 12a. But you cannot add it. You cannot add it because these are not the like term. So addition in subtraction, when we discuss, this is a very important thing. This cannot be added. This is the answer is already this. This is cannot be added. You cannot add it 7 plus 5, 12 baby. This is not. Like term add. Unlike term is not add or subtract. Clear? So now today is this. If you understand this, please share the channel, subscribe the channel. Thank you, student. Thank you.